synopsis and reasoning that I did play Urshifu Kyurem at the Salt Lake City Regionals. We did finish 5-3-1. Couldn't quite get there in a potential win in it, but that's okay. 170th and 30 points towards the sick World Championship in Japan. So we're going to go through the deck and talk about it and why I made a couple choices. I will say this is 59 of 60 of what I played, as I have since dropped Irida for Raihan. But let's jump in to how this deck works and how it combos. So we're going to start with the Kyurem. So you got Rapid Freeze, attach a number of water energy. I mean, I used that once, I can attach I had an energy, so I attached 3. It was really sick. More importantly, we got the VMAX. So you got Max Frost, discarding amount of water, 50 for each one. Allows you to get some knockouts in one hit. That's why I really like the card. And we got Glaciated World. So once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your deck if it's a water attached to one of your Pokemon. Keyword part of this is it doesn't have to be a water Pokemon. I think it's just because of VMAX, they were like, hey, we're going to let you attach anything, which I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to work on some stuff. And we ended up on Urshifu. So we'll talk about how Kyurem combos with the rest of Pokemon in your deck. So let us get started. We got Oranguru Primate Wisdom. Once your turn, you may switch a card from your hand with top card of deck. So you put that water on top, you Glaciate World, you're guaranteeing a water, plus your attach, plus a Melony, you're attacking. And Whop down if you have to for 70. Then we got Rapid Strike Urshifu. It does Strafe, switches one of your bench, and 100 Furious Blows, 150, which I think I like 2 or 3 knockouts with during the tournament. Then we do have Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. So this card, definitely, I played a couple people who did not know this card did, and that's okay. This hasn't been good in a while. I get it. So it has Gale Thrust. If this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot this turn, you do 120 more, so you evolve it on the bench, play a Switch, Escape Rope, whatever, or just retreat, and you hit 150. But more importantly, you got G-Max Rapid Flow. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So I looked at the online meta, which I know isn't 100%, obviously, because Regis couldn't be played. We saw well that did, so people couldn't prepare for Regis. I kind of just accepted Regis if it happens. But I wanted to play Urshifu after I was like, there's a lot of Arceus Goodra, Arceus Pikachu, Espeon, really cool deck, which I did lose to, but, you know, be like that. The Giratina decks were not playing Manaphy. And I said, that's crazy. I'm going to play Urshifu VMAX. So I went undefeated against Giratina decks because I would Rapid Flow 2 Comfeys or whatever, and next turn, because Kyurem would attach a water, and then I would attach an energy on top ground in a second, I was able to back-to-back Rapid Flow. I think I even got 3 Rapid Flows in a row in one game, which was insane, while powering up like my Kyurem via Melony. So now, how do I attack with it, because it takes 2 fighting? This deck does play 4 Rapid Strike energy. Only be attached to Rapid Strike Pokemon. If it's not, you have to discard it. As long as it is attached, it provides any combination of water and fighting. So you attach it, it provides your 2 fighting. We're going in. And that also helps Empoleon V. So Empoleon V, first set of regionals, this card's a lie. Why would you play this card in your deck? They're playing Canceling Cone, they're playing Path. Like, it doesn't even matter. And then I looked, and I was like, you know, I think a lot of people are like, Giratina, they might play 1 Path, maybe. And I was like, that, I think, makes Empoleon good. But what made Empoleon good was the fact that it is a Rapid Strike Pokemon and can take it and attack really easily. So what does this Empoleon do? As long as this Pokemon is your active spot, your opponent's base Pokemon have no abilities except for Pokemon in the rule box. So your opponent's Oranguru. We stopped at Oranguru once in like 1 minute game because their top card was good, but they couldn't do it. Stops Comfey, stops Miltank, stops Snorlax as I hit a Mewtwo stall, stops a bunch of those things, and then it does Swirling Ice 130, moving energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So the ability to attach water and a Rapid Strike and not have to water Melony, attach, you know, do random things, use your Palkia V-Star on it, like, open it up to be a lot better because I didn't have to devote, like, too many resources to it. And I did get a couple games where I just had 2 Empoleons, like, against Mewtwo stall. I think I might have had 2 out at one point. I know I got a game against Lost Box having 2 out at one point, and I just moved the energy back and forth. Now, remember, if you don't have a bench, you don't have to move the energy, so it just kind of stays there. But moving the energy was really nice because I could just move a water to Kyurem, or even if I had another Rapid Strike, or I thought I was going to get knocked out, I can move the Rapid Strike to my Urshifu, or even another Empoleon, and be prepared. Really cool. That's the only way it was effective, is because I had Rapid Strike energy. So, like, I understand it's not super effective. You're like, I gotta devote so many resources to it. But you having the ability to just pop it on, even turn 1 Melony, attach your 1 energy, and get it is really effective. And that's what made it good. So then we have the Kyurem line, like I talked about. We got a Lumineon V. When you play this card for your hand, search for a supporter and put in your hand. It also has Aqua Return, which you can use. 120, put it back in your deck. I'm going to use that once, maybe. Not really sure. Then we got Radiant Greninja. Only one Radiant in that deck. Concealed cards. Discard an energy. Draw 2. Moonlight Shuriken. Discard 2 energy. 9 it to your opponent's bench. That just combos with your deck, because it weakens them to make it easier to knock them out with your Kyurem or Urshifu. But concealed cards. So there were a couple times I was like against Palkia, and I didn't get Urshifu out turn 1, and I didn't want to give up the 2 free prizes, so I couldn't bench it, and I didn't want to bench Empoleon, obviously. So what I did was you can discard the Rapid Strike energy. So obviously you want to discard the water to combo with Melony and stuff like that, or Training Court, so it's like free. But discarding Rapid Strike was actually great too, because then I can save my water for the Oranguru combo, or just a attach if I had to do that stuff, and not be like, all right, I hope I discard this water to draw water, because that doesn't make sense. Because you just take the guaranteed thing. So that card is busted. There is no Crobat. I dropped Crobat at the last second. There were times where I wish there was a Crobat, but I feel like having Crobat on my bench would have lost me the game more than once. So we didn't go with that. Then we got the items here. We got 2 Battle VIP Pass. So before the event, talking to my friends, I just want VIP Pass on my deck. The card's busted. I had 0 up until the night before. Put 2 in. Didn't win a game in testing. Said, okay, we're doing 2. Obviously not as good as 4 going first, but 2 is fine going second. Usually because you have Irida or a way to get it. I will say my friend Wesley, shout out to Wesley, who did day 2, played 4 in his Kyurem, much better than me, and it was great. And I don't wish I played 4, but maybe 3. Maybe wish I played 3. Then we got the 2 Capacious Bucket. Search for 2 water. Put them in your hand. Obviously, that fuels your deck. So, great. I saw some people play 3. Some people play 4. Don't play 1 or 0. That's the answer I got on that one. At least 2. Maybe 3 probably would have been perfect if that was possible. But if you're playing like Palkia, Kyurem, definitely 3 or 4. Then we got the Escape Rope. Each player switches. This card was insane. It combos with your Urshifu. One game I just Escape Rope, and they brought up Sableye, because I figured I was going to knock it out, and I brought up the baby Urshifu evolved Rapid Flow, knocked out 2 Comfort on the bench. Then they had to waste a resource to retreat their Sableye, or Scuba Net, and it put me ahead, and it was really sick. We got the 1 Evolution Incense, obviously, to get your Evolution Pokemon. We got Ordinary Rod, shuffle 2 Pokemon for discard on your deck, into basic energy. So I only have 8 water, because I'm not a pure water deck, or Kyurem Palkia. So putting the 2 basic energy was great. And sometimes you gotta have a weird Ultra Ball or Quick Ball at the beginning, or I had to discard my Urshifu VMAX on your first search because it was the worst card in your hand, but then you see the other one's prize, stuff like that. Ordinary Rod, good card. Then we got 3 Quick Balls, so I didn't do 4 because I have 2 VIP Pass and the 2 Ultra Ball. Never really needed 4. I never had a moment where I was like, this Quick Ball, I think 3 was good. I can understand 4 obviously because that card is busted. We're gonna miss it. Hopefully we get Nest Ball or something. Then we got 2 Rotom Phone. Look at the top 5, choose 1, shuffle your deck, and put the card on top. Combos with Greninja and Oranguru let you stack that card on top that you want. Switch it or draw it, play it, we profit. Definitely a bunch of times it helped me put Rapid Strike on top because I don't play Pierce. I debated it, but when I dropped the Crobat, I took it out. To get Rapid Strike energy on top and draw it or switch it and get my attacks going. To switch, gotta switch that Pokemon because sometimes you don't want to start with Lumineon. 2 Ultra Ball, obviously discard 2, get a Pokemon. 3 Stadiums, so I did go 3 Training Court once your turn. Put a basic energy back in your hand. So Training Court was good. It's so awkward because I played them when I played 5 water decks, pretty sure, in my 9 matches. And we just both played a game of chicken of who doesn't have to play their Training Court. Because it helps them, and I did play it a couple times, but when I played it, it was because it benefited me more. Lost Box 2, I was like, that's crazy. They have an energy for Greninja now. Or the Giratina one. I was like, it is worth it. I did not go a vacuum. I just felt the 3. I know I cannot. Path can get me. Every time I got Path, I had the Stadium, or I didn't have Irida to get vacuum. So didn't matter in the end. But if you drop Stadium for vacuum, 100% makes sense. Then we got 2 Boss Order. Obviously, bring up this Pokemon to win those games. Took out a couple Crobats via Urshifu because of that, because of weakness after I brought up Urshifu. 2 Irida. Again, I had 3 at the regional. Man, I hated that card late game. Search for a water Pokemon and an item. So turn 1, you can get VIP Pass and blank. Or sometimes I just got Greninja, Capacious Bucket, you know, that kind of thing. Or a recovery card. Or get your, whatever you want. Whatever item you see here, you can get. Probably not VIP Pass after turn 1, but that's okay. We got the Marnie. I didn't go Roxanne. I went the Marnie. It worked. Roxanne, I felt like I needed to try my best to disrupt Giratina, Lost Box things early enough and not let them get their 10-11 card turn 2 and be like, oh, look at this Roxanne that doesn't matter because you did everything already. So that is why I chose Marnie. It was great. Did not regret it at all. Did not miss Roxanne once. You get the 4 Melony, attach Water Energy card for this ball, 20 RVs, and draw 3, so literally just helps you attack with everything. Pretty simple. Your Kyurem, your Urshifu will discard energy, power it up, boom, quick ball, Greninja. It combos with so many things in your deck. It is insane. So I got the Raihan SSH was not in my deck, but I wanted a 5th Melony. I understand I have to get knocked out, but I think that card's really good, and it can help you give good recovery. You're like, oh, I can get my energy, and then get my Kyurem, and then attach, and you know, you're still there. You're still doing your thing while helping get your resources. And our last supporter was Phoebe. So I went into this thinking I was going to see some amount of Miltank, and X amount of Goodra. I hit none of them. I also hit no Zoroarks. But this card says, during this turn, damage from your Pokemon VMAX isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active. So my idea was, you play it, you get 1 Goodra with the 3 energy on your Kyurem, and then you could just take, you know, load up to do some intense one-hit knockout on the next one, if they even have a second one. Powered up already. So, and it does work against Miltank too, just in case, like, we got Empoleon, but they have Pats at the peak. And then we could still, like, attack with our Urshifu or Kyurem. So if our Empoleon wouldn't work, because of that kind of a thing. So, and then we got 1 Air Balloon, 2 Choice Belt, the 4 Rapid Strike, and 8 Water. So I did go 5-3-1, like I said, 170, 30 points. That's insane. A lot of people did say that's crazy that you play this. I don't know. I've been playing for so long. I just play like what I like. Obviously, I like to win. Winning's fun. I'm not gonna pretend it isn't. But the look on people's faces and them having to read Urshifus, I'll be like, that's an Urshifu. I'm like, yeah, it do be an Urshifu. Like, I'll open Kyurem and I'm like, VIP Pass for an Urshifu. And they're like, alright. I don't know what to do now. So it was really cool. It was one of those, like, people knew the card though, but they didn't really know how to prepare for it. I had someone go first. And they, like, read the basic Urshifu and they're like, oh, whatever. They passed and I was like, Melony attached, knockout. And they're like, what? So, deck was fun. Looking forward to it. With Silver Tempest. Not really sure what I'm going to add to it, if anything. But I will be sticking with this deck for a while. It is super fun. And, you know, don't forget to try weird things. Just enjoy yourself. Take this on the ladder. Urshifu's exciting, I promise. You're going to have a good time just double knocking out things. With that being said, this was some Kyurem Urshifu, as I call it. I'm Josh Hatter. This was the Tea Table. And our next set of videos will be covering our next expansion coming out in a couple weeks. So I look forward to that. Drop a like, leave a comment on how crazy or whatever you think about this deck. And I'll see everybody next time.